Welcome to what I find a pretty exciting video today, because I have fallen in love with the car very quickly, which to be honest doesn't happen that often. Maybe partly because I am spoiled with so many nice cars. My standard of cars and enjoyment has become so high. However, with this, the BMW M2 Club Sport, wow, it is just incredible, and I'm going to go into that in a bit. We're going to go for a drive on my local mountain pass, which has featured in many videos, apart from the wood is missing. So a lot of you will recognize normally here is a big wood stack, and it's gone. I guess they've sold it, which sucks a bit because it looks really good in the background for pictures. And we also have two M2s with us today. So this is the M2 Club Sport that I have at the moment from BMW Switzerland. Next to it, got my friend Lara joining me today just for a bit of fun, because she also owns a M2, and she's standing there because she hates being on camera. Come. So this is yours, Lara.
Yeah.
Yours is louder because you have the Akrapovic.
Not the OPF.
Oh, what's that? A Nissan. Subaru.
Ooh, Subaru.
Downpipe.
Downpipe, also a Akrapovic.
Full Akrapovic.
200 seller.
Wow, that's nice. And wheel spaces and lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
And the carbon parts.
And the carbon parts. So, yeah, here, carbon parts. As you can see, it's nice and low, wheel spaces. And you've done something very horrible to your roof.
Don't put that on the video.
What is this purple? Why do you have a purple roof?
It just happened, okay? It's like some people just do tattoos when they're drunk, and some people, you know,
just wrap their roof purple when they're drunk. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, we won't go into that.
Everybody does some mistakes in their life, right?
Yeah, and that's one of your mistakes.
That's one of mine. So
I've driven your car last year, briefly. Yep. I did like it, but I wasn't blown away. I'm trying to be sensitive. Like, I really liked it.
Just say it.
It didn't pass the love test. I always say when you test drive a car, no, I'm not lying. It's got to pass the love test, and it was super nice, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't drive it long enough. But when I jumped into the Club Sport, I instantly felt like, okay. You know what this feels like to me? This feels like BMW's take on a Porsche GT4. Yeah. The seats in the original M2 look like they're from an old people's home. Material, the leather looks kind of...
Yeah, it looks cheap.
Cheap. Yeah, cheap is the word. Yeah. And now even more cheap since you've got a purple wrapped roof. It looks like you crashed it and kind of took a roof off someone else. I thought it'd be fun to do a quick sound check with both of the cars. This being completely stock, of course, and having OPF, having a slightly different engine. Of course, the new M2 has the engine from the M4. Not bad.
It's loud, right?
Look at that face. It is loud.
It is loud.
I like the turbo whistle.
Yeah.
Can you please rev my car?
Oh, your car?
Well, it's mine for a week.
Okay.
Where's the sound?
Where's the sound? Sounds pretty sad, right?
It does a bit. It's got potential if you do put an exhaust on.
Yeah, if you switch.
Which I would.
Which I would definitely.
Yeah.
Because now it sounds like a hybrid car.
Show off. First of all, I've had almost no BMWs on my channel. Second of all, I honestly never really imagined myself with the BMW. Third of all, I've driven a couple of M-Performance BMWs like the M8s, the BMW, what is it, the X5M. Didn't like either of them. The M8 was just a massive tank. Yes, it's fast, but feeling wise, zero. The first thing you notice when you jump in the M2 Club Sport are the seats. The seats are from the M4 as well, like the engine. They just feel spot on. Seats really hold you, you just slip in nicely. The driving position from in here, you instantly feel, yes, I'm in a driver's car. This is about driving this car, even though I don't have the manual gearbox. Although I am a fan of the manual gearbox, I've not driven a manual one of these yet, so I don't know how good the manual gearbox is. I don't want to say that I want the manual gearbox yet, because it might be a terrible manual gearbox. And this does work extremely well. It can be very aggressive on gear changes. It does set the back off quite a bit, but in a fun way. You know, this is a BMW at the end. They like to go sideways. They like to slide around. Driver feedback. Oh, so good. Like a dart. Point and shoot. The steering on this instantly reminded me of, and I'm going to say, a Ferrari Speciale. Now, most of you have probably never driven a Ferrari Speciale before. I was lucky enough to drive one many times, and the first thing I noticed in that car was the steering. It's just bam, bam, just like really like a dart. And this is what this feels like. So this has the standard brakes. You can option it with carbon ceramics. I don't know if you do really need them. They do look very cool, and of course they're going to work fantastic. I think if you're going to go on track, of course. I also can imagine getting them, as I said, just for looks. Some of you may remember when I started out on YouTube and social media, I was actually driving a BMW M4. And one thing I didn't like about that car was, well, first of all, it just felt a bit big and clunky. Second of all, the brakes. That had the standard brakes, and they faded out so quick to the point that it was dangerous, that they just weren't stopping me. And the M4 just never really won my heart over. But this definitely has, very quickly and very surprisingly, because up until now I just didn't really think about it, and I don't know why. I'm a bit annoyed at myself actually that I didn't consider this car. The cornering, oh. So aside from how this car feels just like a pure driver's car, as pure as it can be without a manual gearbox, the looks, well, I think we're all going to feel a bit different on the looks. I am loving them. On the front, very aggressive, very good looking. Love the bonnet bulge with the carbon fiber bits, the carbon fiber splitter. The steering wheel takes a bit of getting used to. It's so thick. There is some serious girth on this steering wheel. Very tight around here. Back to the steering wheel. I have got used to the thickness of it quite quick, and I do like it. Looks good. There's a couple of buttons on there, but I'm happy to say not too many. I have one complaint about this car so far, and that is visually the exhaust. It hangs below the car, just looking ridiculous. It's such a shame they did that. It's like they did the whole car, got to the exhaust and thought, oh, we just can't be bothered anymore. And it just ruins the whole back, because on the back you've got this nice diffuser, the back in general looks nice, and then this really ugly piece of metal hanging from below. It's quick, 444 horsepower. Oh, it's really a nice amount of power. Oh my God, this is a pure smile machine. I could just not put my finger on the feeling to describe how good this feels. Just a bloody fantastic feeling car, and it's so refreshing. The world needs more drivers' cars like this, because up until now I felt like I kept on going back to Porsche because I couldn't find that feeling in any other cars for this price range anyway. Of course, if you're driving a McLaren or Ferrari 458, yes, you have that, but for a much higher price tag. Is it better than the new Porsche 718 GT4? I've got to be very careful with this answer. I might upset a lot of people. It's very hard to say. It's different. They are different cars. At the moment, this and the 718 Porsche GT4 are going for pretty much identical prices, between 112,000 and 120,000. If you were to offer me now, what would I take? It's hard to say because obviously I've had the GT4, and I hate to admit, after some time I did feel like I was getting a little bit bored of it. And it's so nice to have that bit more power. I love the GT4, I always will. But it for sure always felt like it was just missing that punch. And this has that punch. I never thought I would fall in love with a BMW. But there we go. It is 2020, which means nothing matters and anything goes. As you can see, I've fallen in love with the M2, which I never thought I would say. I'm becoming a BMW guy.
Oh,
Is that cool?
that's cool.
Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting. Lara's owned the M2 for how long? Over a year.
2.5.
2.5 years.
2.5.
We're going to finish today's video. You've got to try this.
Yes.
And I want to know from someone that's lived with an M2 for 2.5 years, do you really feel that it's the better car? I think it is. You're biased, obviously you love your car, and that's okay. Forgetting about the sound, just going on driver feedback, steering, performance, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll
do.
check up after. The seats feel better straight away.
God. Feels so different.
That's good.
Have fun.
That sounds really good. I'm gonna have fun in this. Bye.
Bye.
I'm really interested to know if Lara does prefer that to this, but oh, listen to this. Oh, this sounds. Woo. Yes. That's a naughty sound when you come off the power. Do you prefer it to yours, the older one?
It's heartbreaking, but I do.
You do?
I do.
Really?
I actually do.
Okay, but
the sound is not so bad when you're actually inside.
No. I officially want an M2 Club Sport. But yeah, I really want one. I'm blown away by the M2 Club Sport. And yeah, on that bombshell, it is for me. Ciao for now.